Hello and welcome to another episode of Tommy's Trains. In today's video we have a block target signal 6-12832. It's a Lionel accessory, and we're going to go ahead and install this and show you how it works. So here's what our signal looks like, a two-color signal. So brown base, some holes to screw it into your board, 3 little thumb screws for the power to go to. Here's all our wiring, our bags of tricks, warranty card, service center stations for 1996. This is a 253 block target signal. So it comes with a 153 contactor. Comes with our little Christmas bulbs. So this will activate the light through the weight of the oncoming train. So we've got 4 pieces of wire, the light bulbs, our cover. Alright, so to wire this up, we are going to go, one comes out of the signal straight to the transformer, which will be the middle. So I'll take one of our wires. I actually have one here, but we'll unhook it, make sure our power's off, and we'll crimp an end on that. If you want to get real fancy, you can get these and get some little pieces of heat shrink and go over it. That would make it look nice. These are all being set up temporarily for display purposes, so I'm not going to do that with these. But so the shows are going to the center. It's a lot easier to do this if you put little spade terminals on it, little fork terminals or whatever. You can bend the wire and put it on, but it's not as good. All right, so if we're looking at the underside of this, here's our rings here. This shows the top one's going to go to number 1 of our contactor. So we'll grab another terminal and crimp that on. So the top one, we'll put a terminal in that and we'll tighten that up. Now with these little contactors, you don't need to put terminals on them. You just push this in. It's kind of like the old stereo wiring. You just push this in and slide the wire through. So these are numbered 1, 2, 3. So this will go to 1. And you just push this down, and then there's a spot to slide it in, and I'll bring you over here in a second and show you how that works. So that's hooked up, and then the last one goes to 2. I'm going to have to go restock on my ring terminals, fork terminals. And just crimp that down. So that'll connect here. And we'll strip the end of this. Connect this to 2. I have no idea how you hook this up to fast track. There's got to be a way. I'm sure that you got to buy a piece of track or something. But I don't know how it's done. I've never connected any of these accessories to fast track. I have tube track to fast track adapters, and so I run fast track aways, and then when I want to put all these accessories on, I switch back to tube track, put them all in, and then go back. And like I said, I'm sure there's a way. I just don't know what that is. All right, and then our third wire goes back from number 3 on here, back there. So we're going to make a jumper. This is solid core wire, so it's only really one piece of wire in there. You can get the braided wire, works fine. The braided wire, though, if you're going to use braided wire, you really want to use terminals, because the braided wire doesn't wrap around a post very well, but braided wire is fine. So put our last terminal on. And this is going to go on our accessory. If I was going to hook up a bunch of these things, I would use a power distribution bus, which is basically a bunch of screws on a piece of metal. And so you've got 2 feeds coming in, and then you've got like your positive and negative on one row, or sorry, your positive on one row, your negative on another row. You get your bus feed coming in from your power pack or whatever, and then you just got these double rings all the way down, so that's how you would feed all your accessories. There's a bunch of different power packs you can use. I have been an MRC snob since probably around 1988, and I love them. There's plenty of other good options out there. It's just, this has been one of my favorite pieces to use. So we've got an extra switch here. We're going to take this out. This goes to an OTC contactor, which is not a CTC lock-on. This is an OTC, which simulates kind of the operating track, and I'll show you a use for that in a different episode. But it's bigger than this, but it sort of does the same thing. So a lot of these accessories can be powered from a lock-on. So the lock-on can deliver power to the track, but it also can siphon power off the track. The only drawback using track power to operate your accessories is you have to have track power on your locomotive in neutral, and it's going to suck voltage off the line. So when you're operating these accessories and you still have trains running, it's going to be noticeable. So here's our third terminal here, and we're going to stick this on. And then you want to set this down the line maybe a little bit from where you're going to operate it. And we're going to go ahead and assemble that real quick. I don't have a good picture of it. It looks like, I believe green goes on the bottom, but I don't have a good picture. Here's our cover. So the way these work is there's a spring in here, and the pressure of the locomotive pushes this down. And when it pushes it down, it activates and lets the current go through. So that's right. Let's see if we have. So we want to trigger that. There we go. So you have to adjust the pressure with this little thumb wheel on here, and then obviously green means the track's clear. And red tells us it's not clear. Alright, so here's our signal. There's 3 wires coming out. We've got one here. goes to 1. The center one goes to your track power. You've got one that goes to 2, and 3 comes out and goes back to the rear of your power pack. So the Lionel 253 block target signal. This shows you how to adjust your contactor. Here's your wiring diagram. And then you obviously test the contactor with your finger for pressure. Shows you how to replace the lamp bulbs. And there you have it. The Lionel 253 block target signal 6-12832. You can pick these up for 15 or 20 bucks all day long. Maybe a little bit more for brand new in the box like this one, but very neat little accessory to have. All these lights and all these accessories, they really add realism and fun to your set. So continuing with how to make your little loop of track more exciting, we've got a lot more stuff to cover. So I appreciate you watching this episode, and stick around for more of Tommy's Trains. Thanks for watching, and take care.